All right, welcome. Welcome to our next discussion on weight loss, medically assisted weight loss, and how it can help you and how it can make your journey into weight loss and health a much easier and sometimes more motivating experience. So, one of the questions I typically get very often is what happens when I stop the medication? Well, the medication is not absolutely necessary for you to lose weight. You can lose weight a lot of different ways. You can use medication, you can use obviously diet and exercise, surgery. No matter what way you choose to lose weight, it's not something that can go away. Unfortunately, people who struggle with weight are probably going to struggle their entire lives. It is a chronic disease. And so it's not something we can just get away from and lose a bunch of weight and never worry about it again. No matter what method we choose, we still have to eat healthy and have a healthy lifestyle in order to maintain that weight loss. So what I see these new medications being is not the end of the journey. It's actually just a way to kind of get a boost up on our journey to good, healthy wellness and eating right and living right and feeling good. And so it's kind of that step up because unfortunately we as women have always been a little handicapped with our hormones and with our age and with all the things that we struggle with. Chasing kids does not keep us thin, unfortunately. And so we still need to eat right, live right, and be active and really mindful of what we're doing in order to stay healthy. So the weight loss is part of that journey, but it's just the first step in that. And so one of the ways that these medications can help you in this journey is by helping you not be starving all the time so you can be very mindful of what you're eating, the habits that you have or bad habits you have about food, and help you get to kind of recognize. Now, I'm just going to give you an experience of mine. When I was on this medication, I realized that I would go to the refrigerator and look at the refrigerator whether I was hungry or not. And I had to say, now, why am I looking at the refrigerator? I'm not hungry. And then I realized, oh, I'm kind of bored and I'm not liking what I'm doing, or I was depressed or feeling bad. And I would go look for a source of food to help me. And so not being starving, I could take a moment to say, what am I thinking? What am I doing? And think about what I'm actually putting in my mouth instead of just being so hungry I'll put whatever. And that helped me realize I have some very bad habits in my relationship with food. The other thing too is I am of the era when my mother said, clean your plate off. And so I always had this idea that I had to have 3 meals a day, that I had to eat everything on my plate, and then snacks before you go to bed. And that's just the way we were taught in, the 50s, is that's what you did. And so I learned that I don't need to have 3 meals a day, that I can actually switch it up. And I actually do really, really well with intermittent fasting. When I do intermittent fasting, then I can kind of space out when I eat. I myself, particularly, I start eating about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I stop eating about 7 o'clock in the evening, or 6 or 7. And this helps me limit the number of calories I get, really focus on what I'm eating, try to prepare good meals instead of just getting whatever is out there to eat, and really help me kind of focus on being mindful, eating slower, and am I eating kind of healthy, good, protein-rich foods? So intermittent fasting has been really a very kind of excellent source for me to continue on this journey. Another big question I get is, will I just regain the weight back when I'm done? Well, that's, again, a complicated question, because if you stop paying attention to good, healthy eating and activity, and you start eating Snickers bars and candy and goodies because your diet is done, yeah, you will regain the weight. But if you continue your healthy habits that hopefully you have learned while on the medication, and if you continue to apply those the rest of your life, no, you won't regain that weight back. You can continue the healthy journey that you started. And it takes about 90 days to really form a good habit. And so if you can stay on these new medicines for at least 90 days while you develop new good habits, that is a way to kind of solidify them in your mind as something that you can do and live with for the rest of your life. Now, does this mean you have to diet for the rest of your life? No, 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 no. That's not the goal. The goal is to find comfortable, easy lifestyle that you enjoy with good foods that you can occasionally go and have a treat or two and splurge every once in a while, but still have that life where you don't feel deprived, you don't feel like you're missing out on life, just because you are choosing to eat more appropriately and to keep your body healthy. So no, you don't have to regain the weight. You can stay healthy and stay active and make the money that you invest in yourself worth it. So that leads me to another kind of caveat. Am I spending too much money on myself? Am I being selfish by spending a lot of money? Because these medications are not cheap. And so, no, you have to think of it like this. When I am over 50 and I am over 100 pounds overweight, how much of my medication is going to helping me manage symptoms of obesity, like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, diabetes type 2? How much of my medication budget is going to manage symptoms that might get a lot better if I lost 50 pounds? Also, we know by a lot of studies that our healthcare dollars go way up in our premiums and our costs based on our weight. I found a very sad statistic the other day that said that if we're overweight, we are unfortunately biased against in the workplace. We don't make as much money. We can't get as good at jobs when you're overweight. And so you lose out on money. So again, what are we spending money on? Are we spending it on junk food and expensive entertainment? Or are we spending it on getting healthy so that in the long run we save money by staying out of the hospital, lowering our costs of medication, lowering our premiums, staying out of care centers when we fall and break hips? I mean, this is really something you need to think about. Losing weight, being healthy is an investment in our future. And hopefully, as you're successful, as you feel better, you're more active, you'll be stronger, and you'll age the pitfalls of aging and bad health. I mean, I know people who can be extremely active well into their older age, and it's just paying attention to how we care for ourselves, what we eat, how we take our exercise, aerobic, strengthening our core. All of those are critical in saving us money by saving on healthcare dollars over our lifetime. So the money really is worth it. And so when we think about, call it $500 a month to get thinner, yeah, I think it is worth it. And in my journey, I would absolutely spend the money to feel like I do now, 70 pounds lighter. So I think it's an excellent way to really invest in yourself and make yourself say, I am worth it. I am worth spending this money because I, as a person, am worth it. So that's another question I see. And then another one that I hear often is what side effects will I feel while I'm on this medicine? So we've talked a lot about this before, but I'm going to go over it again because what I want to really emphasize is I don't want you to feel sick. Feeling sick while you're on this medication is not the way people actually lose weight. They lose weight based on how this medication affects your metabolism and the way you perceive food and the way your brain interprets food signals. And so the nausea people feel is only a small kind of side effect very early on in the course of taking the medication. Not everybody feels it. You shouldn't have to feel it to have this medication be successful. And hopefully you don't. If you do, you should have a provider there who can help you get through these kind of initial stages of the medication. with anti-nausea medicine. If you need it, you can both get prescription or over-the-counter medicines that can help with nausea, because that is not the way you lose weight. I want you to feel good, strong, and healthy. Now, I've had a lot of people say that while they're on this medicine, sometimes they feel more tired, sometimes they feel a little more, some heart racing a little bit, nothing big or serious. I've had some people say that they've had headaches and a little mood changes. That's not everybody. Everybody's journey is a little different. Some people say they don't even notice that they're on it. I've had some people say that it changes their taste in medication, in food. Again, not always. So everybody's going to be a little bit different. So I can't tell you exactly how you're going to feel while you're on the medicine. You just try it. And we start in my clinic with a very small dose so that you see how you do on it. And we can increase the dose quite rapidly if you tolerate it really well, or we can decrease it. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people say, well, I'm not losing weight on this medicine. It doesn't work. Well, that's sometimes because if you're not seeing somebody who really pays attention, who's weighing you and following your course, you may not be on the appropriate dose. If you're not having any symptoms and you're not losing weight, either you're not on the right medication or you're not on the right dose. And you need to see a provider and really discuss this with them, somebody who's knowledgeable and who's used this medication a lot, so that they can guide you to the appropriate dose, the appropriate journey. I mean, there's no point in paying all this medicine if it's not being successful for you. So don't just say the medicine doesn't work on you. It pretty much works on everybody. It just may not be the right dose that you're getting. So see a provider, see your doctor, come see me, and talk it over with your provider and see if you're on the right dose. Well, that's about 10 minutes today. So please submit any further questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer them live or on air. Also, I think we're going to go ahead and do a webinar, which will do a little bit more explanation in length about the medication and things like that. So stay tuned for updates on that. And then we also really enjoyed the live kind of a question and answer interaction that I had last week. And I'd like to do that again, and we can do it about weight loss. We can do it about some of the other things in my clinic, such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, or aesthetics, injectables, or IVs and medication or vitamin IVs. So if you have any suggestions of what you'd like to hear or learn about, please submit them, and we'll be happy to address them and be able to get your questions answered by a physician in real time and live or even online. So it's been a pleasure meeting with you today, and hopefully you can let me know what more you'd like to learn about, and we can chat later. Thanks. Bye.